are talking about the movie The Domestics. This one is written and directed by Mike P. Nelson and stars one-time Lois Lane, Kate Bosworth, and the current Superman in the CW universe, Tyler Hoechlin. Now, I've seen this movie being compared to The Purge, which I kind of agree with, specifically Purge Anarchy, but I will say it's maybe a mixture of Purge Anarchy, The Warriors, the old 70s movie, and a kind of a post-apocalyptic setting a la Mad Max. Now, I was actually asked to review this movie some time ago by a viewer, I forget who, I do apologise. So I finally got to watch it, so what do we think? So, to give you a kind of a brief rundown here, it focuses on America, post some type of post-apocalyptic event. It's not nuclear or anything like that. For some reason, the government has sprayed some poison over the populace, which has killed off the majority, but some people are immune, and hence this is the story of what remains ultimately. And now in the US, it's essentially been governed by regional gangs who all have carved up their turf, and they have that kind of some type of unique motif. So kind of like the Warriors, but on a bigger scale ultimately. This is why I make the comparison. And we have a married couple played by Bosworth and Tyler Hoechlin, who are going through some kind of marital troubles, but they're kind of sticking together obviously because of the dangerous kind of society that they now live in. And they want to travel kind of 100 or so miles to get to this girl's parents where they feel they'll be safe. So the story is kind of a road trip, and as they go along they kind of meet various kind of characters. Some may be helpful, but the majority are going to have violent intent. So it's ultimately the story of that journey. So what do we think of The Domestics? So the positives. This movie's a lot of fun. If you like your post-apocalyptic movies, I would say this kind of fits quite nicely in there. A kind of a different, it's not kind of like a post-nuked out, so it's not deserts all over the place. So it has a different kind of aesthetic almost, because it almost feels more like the kind of The Walking Dead in regards to maybe it's kind of like aesthetics, but so we're not sort of dealing with zombies. We're just dealing with the kind of themed gangs, so to speak. So we have the Sheets, for example, all who wear like white sheets like ghosts, and everyone has a kind of like a little sort of like motif that they're kind of playing, and they're all kind of vying for turf and stuff like that. And there's a variety of different characters, certainly, all who are quite fun, quite interesting because they're so kind of clearly defined. I thought the acting was pretty good here. I thought they make a kind of quite a believable couple. I will say Kate Bosworth doesn't seem to have as much character, to be honest with you. She's kind of, maybe towards the end of the movie has a little bit more to do, but I feel, certainly for the first half of the movie, I didn't really feel like she had a lot to do, to be honest with you, apart from just kind of exist. But nonetheless, the acting is all pretty good, and there's some kind of fun characters, that we meet along the way. And our kind of couple get into a variety of different kind of bizarre adventures. I've got to say, I like the production design there. There's some pretty good stunt work here, and some nice sort of action set pieces with kind of lots of shootouts and kind of dangerous situations that all kind of goes quite fun. And there are good amounts of kind of violence and gore on display here. The one real problem I have with this movie is probably the script, because I feel it's kind of all over the place. It just seems that it lurches from one scene to another. You don't really get any sort of sense of time between these, and it feels like you're missing scenes. This to me would have been better as like a 10-episode series, I think. It just seems like, for a start, we never really know why the government is kind of gassed everyone. It doesn't really make sense. We're never really told. We really don't know people's kind of backstories too much, so we're kind of thrust into this without kind of knowing too much about our characters. And then, for example, we have Lance Reddick's character, who is a kind of sort of a character who they meet along the way, and he decides at one point in the movie he's going to pursue them, and then the next minute we see him tied up hostage from someone else who we have had no introduction to at that point. So it just feels like this kind of, it just lurches from kind of one scene to another without really kind of giving you a kind of a flow, if that makes sense. So it just seems to me that this movie was a lot more was filmed, and it was kind of cut down and kind of made into this, but it seems a little bit kind of jerky and almost doesn't feel like a natural flow in the story, so to speak. But if you can kind of get over that and just enjoy it for what it is, I feel this is definitely a fun film. You know, there's a lot to enjoy here. The set pieces are all fun. I love the kind of all the eccentric designs of our kind of gang members and all that sort of stuff. And there's some really, really good action set pieces here. So I'd probably recommend it, but because the narrative is so weak, I can't really give it too high a score. But I will give it above average. 6 out of 10. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.